Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So now Bitcoin has surpassed $50,000 per coin, guys. I got Bitcoin here on the daily, and as you guys can see, a strong move to the start of the day. Bitcoin right now trading at 51,500 per coin. Let me throw this on the hourly, and just going to really show you guys the action that we've seen over the last several hours as of the time of this recording. Lots of bullish momentum here for Bitcoin. So really getting above this this level of resistance here at $50,000. That was the psychological level that I think traders had to get through to find more confidence. Of course, we did retrace down, and that was a big question mark for some traders yesterday. But Bitcoin managed to make it back up, passing this level here. And now, guys, we're testing new territory. So if I bring this back to the daily chart here, you guys can see, let me just remove some of that. Bitcoin is now hitting the shoulders of that head and shoulders pattern. So this is another level of resistance here from back in 2021, September 2021, and also December of 2021. The shoulders from this head and shoulder pattern from when we saw Bitcoin reach its peak, its all-time high back in November of 2021. So now we got to test this level of resistance here. Going to keep an eye on Bitcoin. Of course, there are reasons for this. Minus Wells here mentioning this. In one day, the Bitcoin ETFs accumulated another roughly $600 million in BTC. It's no wonder why Bitcoin is about to break 52,000. And guys, the best part is the FOMO hasn't even kicked in yet. We are not seeing that mainstream hype that we did see in the last bull run when Bitcoin was very, very close to its all-time high. So that's a good indication that there is a lot of movement to go. As you guys can see here, spot Bitcoin ETF on-chain holdings, and this is the daily amount. And you can see February 12th, you can see that has ramped up quite a bit. So going to keep our eyes on the king cryptocurrency. Of course, greed is sitting steady at 71, and market cap inching closer to $2 trillion. That's up 2.41%. Trading volumes also up 2.9%. And Bitcoin dominance, of course, Bitcoin is the leader of the pack, 52.5%. The space is looking very, very green today with, many of the altcoins in the green. XRP only up about a half a percentage point. And guys, I've been noticing some altcoins popping in the $10,000 plus portfolio. However, there are still some laggards. And, this is the reason why you do have to diversify. And, for those of you guys looking for a diversified portfolio, you can see what I'm doing at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. If that is something that you guys are interested in, I know, if you're full in to XRP, you're probably not having as great of a day as some crypto traders. XRP right now trading at about 53 cents. So this is why I decided to, shake things up a bit for this bull run. It is only $5 a month. I purposely kept it affordable so you guys can follow me throughout my trading journey. We're going to talk about targets. I'm going to talk about my legacy portfolio too, where I'm going to be getting out of my XRP, my Bitcoin, my Solana, my HBAR, my VeChain, so on and so forth. So for those of you guys interested in knowing what I'm trading this time around and also what hasn't popped yet, you can check it out, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. Guys, we did get some big news yesterday. Anders here on Twitter posting this. Now, is this a master plan for Ripple? Control the industry standard of crypto custody for banks. Then banks custody their crypto. Now, anytime you wish to move or do something with your cryptocurrency, Ripple is there to help. So I'm going to explain what has just occurred over the last 24 hours. Let's take a look at the latest news. Monica Long has commented on the recent developments here from Ripple. They did just acquire standard custody. As we integrate custody more deeply into Ripple's products, we see clear synergies with standard custody to complement our payment and custody offerings, all in service of being a one-stop shop to move, convert, and store value with blockchain and cryptocurrency. Mike Manfield did say a wholly owned subsidiary of PolySign, and you guys know PolySign did recently fold. Arthur Portilla also commenting on that in a bit of a facetious way. That's a creative way to describe a bailout. So now I think, a lot of people are wondering, what is this strategy? What is this going to bring to the crypto space? How is it going to benefit Ripple and the XRP cryptocurrency? Well, Brad Garlinghouse here also commenting, with standard custody, we'll be able to improve existing product offerings for our customers, as well as explore new products and use cases in a fully compliant way. So compliance, obviously, first and foremost on the minds of Ripplers. To date, Ripple has secured nearly 40 U.S. money transmitter licenses. So guys, that is no small feat. That is a very, very important milestone for Ripple. MPI license from the Monetary Authority of Singapore, and a VASP registration with the Central Bank of Ireland and counting. So these are, again, big milestones for Ripple. Mac Attack XRP not having it, though. This is not enough, Brad. Sorry to say, but something needs to be done about the XRP price. It has already been structurally too low for the past 5 years. Many people around me are exchanging their XRP for other better performing coins that can and do more than just XRP alone. And, some people calling out Mac Attack XRP, but I do get the frustration. I mean, XRP has not been a great performer. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It has not really followed the market the same way other altcoins have. That said, though, guys, this setup here, we're still trending upward. It is still formulating that Nike swoosh pattern, and we have seen this in the past for XRP. If you guys caught the video I did the other day, I did mention that, the total market cap back in 2017, it had already gone up about 3,000% before XRP really took off, and then XRP did see a 60,000% gain. So it can creep up on us. Exchanging your XRP for better performing coins, I mean, depending on how much you have in your portfolio, I don't know. I mean, that might be an idea. I mean, I'm not here to give you financial advice. This is why me personally, I am diversifying. But anyway, everybody's going to do their own thing. Wanted to thank Brad and Mac Attack for posting that. Now, the Wrath Economist also noticing this. Standard Custody was a division of PolySign until today, when Ripple bought it. Curious how Standard Custody compares to Metaco. Standard Custody ensures holdings is a trust more useful for regulations, and he's wondering that. He's asking that as a question. Can it tell us anything in particular about Ripple's plans? Also, something of interest, as we did comment recently on the fact that Adrian Tricani and Peter Dio, or Peter, I forget his last name now, they both did recently exit Ripple and Metaco. And, a Wrath of Economists just spitballing here. Perhaps it was because their roles were redundant, and that's why they stepped down. Nadner down here saying, maybe PolySign will get acquired too. And Wrath Economist saying, I kind of doubt it, if only because selling SC&T likely resolved any cash issues. But I'm just guessing perhaps one of their current partners or investors would acquire them. So yeah, maybe because now they own Standard Custody, a lot of the roles there were going to be redundant, and so those CEOs decided to step down. It's all making more sense now. But why have two? So Ripple did just announce yesterday that they agreed to acquire Standard Custody and Trust Company, an enterprise-grade regulatory platform for digital assets. This move further underscores Ripple's commitment to regulatory compliance and enables the company to strengthen its existing product offerings, as well as explore new complementary products. So looking to even expand what they do offer now. Of course, Standard Custody, a custody solution for cryptocurrencies. So we know Metaco also does the same thing. So I'm still wondering how these two companies are different and what Standard Custody brings to the table. Well, we do have some insight. We do have some thoughts on this coming up. The increase in institutional adoption of crypto and blockchain is a result of more mature and highly secure products in the market that are fully regulated and compliant. With this acquisition, Standard Custody's limited purpose trust charter and its money transmitter licenses will contribute to Ripple's growing portfolio of regulatory licenses. Ripple and its subsidiaries collectively hold a New York BIT license, nearly 40 money transmitter licenses across the U.S., a major payment institution license, and the Monetary Authority of Singapore, and a virtual asset services provider register with the Central Bank of Ireland, as Brad Garlinghouse also did mention. And guys, here is a quote: Ripple and Standard Custody are dedicated to enabling enterprises to reap the benefits of blockchain across a host of financial use cases, building institutional-grade solutions to tokenize, store, move, and exchange value. By expanding our license portfolio and making smart acquisitions, Ripple is well positioned to take advantage of the current market opportunities and fully strengthen our crypto infrastructure solution. So that was coming from Monica Long. We will continue to leverage our strong financial standing to expand our product offering, support new initiatives on the product roadmap, and serve a broader segment of customers. So they want to expand, of course, past banks and, maybe attack another segment of the market, which Ripple has, been known to do and done very, very well thus far. So I wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. Now, on to the plans. What could this mean? I mean, they just recently acquired Metaco. So XRP Crypto will bring this to our attention. Remember, Ripple did unveil its big vision for tokenization just recently. In a Part 3 Insight series, Ripple did unveil a big vision for tokenization. So could this be a part of it? It said that 72% of the more than 1,700 finance leaders who participated in Ripple's recent global survey expect to explore tokenization within the next 3 years. So, they've done the research and are realizing their clients or potential clients are looking to move on to a tokenized system within the next 3 years, cementing the technology's position as a cornerstone of innovation. The increased interest in the use of tokenization may be traced back to numerous advantages that blockchain technology provides. And so Ripple did post this over there on the X platform. Tokenization is reshaping the future of finance, offering the promise of enhanced transparency and increased accessibility. And so here is part 2 of the Tokenized series, detailing how the company is unlocking value and navigating an evolving digital asset landscape. And I will link this in the description if you guys are interested. Just giving you guys the summarized points here. Tokenization is projected to assist businesses in maximizing income through easier management, increased accessibility, and more liquidity, ranging from financial assets and real estate ownership, event ticketing, and carbon credits. Tokenization can also increase access to an asset class by lowering traditional entry hurdles, cutting costs or asset prices, and removing geographical limitations. So much can be done on the blockchain, obviously, for tokenizing assets. And guys, we got to remember, this is trillions of dollars of assets that they're talking about over the long term, over the next decade or so. We're just going to see more tokenization on the blockchain, and the XRP ledger is, of course, the blockchain that Ripple uses. It was specifically designed for financial use cases, but guys, that is now expanding into way more use cases. NFTs, smart contracts via the EVM. So many more things are going to be developed on the XRP ledger, which will in fact give XRP more utility and thus a higher price down the road. Now, on top of that, David Schwartz, I don't know if you guys remember this clip, Jack the Rippler is also putting 2 and 2 together here. Now, after Ripple has bought the New York crypto trust company, I understand why David Schwartz said last year that tokenization will happen in about a year and a half. So 12 to 18 months, guys. This is when we're going to see the inflow. If you guys don't remember this clip, I'm going to play it again. Listen to this.
I'm hoping that we're going to see, as real-world asset tokenization projects grow, I think the XRP ledger is going to be a really good platform for them to launch on, particularly because of the low fees and because of the integration with the DEX, with the proximity to sort of the movement of funds. The ability, if someone's going to buy, what do you want to do with a real-world tokenized asset? You want to buy it, you want to sell it, you want to hold it, you want to transfer it. And if you want to buy it and sell it, you want to be able to do that with whatever asset is convenient for you. You don't want to tie, if you tokenize some sort of debt, like you don't want to tie it to US dollars, because then that limits access to it to people who have sort of proximity to US dollars. One of the things the XRP ledger is good for is giving you sort of proximity to many different assets, and that exchange is seamlessly built in. So I think that's one of the many reasons why the XRP ledger is going to be a good place to launch tokenized real-world assets. I think we'll see that in the next year and a half.
So again, the next year and a half, of course, Ripple does have to set this play up, and this is why they likely acquired Standard Custody and Trust Company, maybe one of the reasons. So I wanted to thank XRP Crypto Wolf and, of course, Jack the Rippler there for posting that. Now, some other connections here that we do need to look into. Boom, says Jack the Rippler. Look who the founder of Standard Custody and Trust Company is. Yes, it's the co-creator of the XRP ledger himself, Arthur Brito. What a coincidence, right? Arthur Brito said that XRP was designed for a $10,000 price. And as you guys can see down here, the leadership board of directors for Standard Custody and Trust Company, we combine blockchain, institutional, and HSM expertise to create inspired solutions to address today's problems. That's what Arthur Brito said back then. So he was the founder of PolySign along with David Schwartz, and you guys know the correlation there between Standard Custody and PolySign. Now, Wrath of Kahneman also bringing up this connection to state the obvious. In January, news bubbled up that PolySign was being foreclosed. So that is one of these things. PolySign couldn't make it, obviously, for various different reasons that we just don't know about, but they were connected to Standard Custody, and now Ripple, I guess, is realizing, okay, maybe we can pilfer some of the good parts of PolySign, and if we're not going to be able to use PolySign, maybe we can get something beneficial out of Standard Custody, and I mean, quite frankly, they could probably get it for a deal too. So that was the news back in December, January. An investor trying to get capital back quick. He says nothing much heard since officially, but likely Ripple was buying Standard Custody Trust, provides the resources to settle everything finally. So Wrath of Kahneman just mentioning that. If you guys don't remember, here it is here, PolySign Inc. public auction notice to foreclose sale. And so back in mid-December, PolySign, PS International, Standard Custody and Trust Company, PolySign Capital, Atomic Net, so all the companies that were subsidiaries of this by virtue of defaults under that certain loan and securities agreement dated April 13th, 2022, between PolySign and Boathouse Capital 3, pursuant to which the pledger granted a securities interest in all of its rights. Okay, so it's basically just explaining that they are now being foreclosed on. So Wrath of Kahneman bringing that up. And the question after this, says William down here, what happens to the private equity stock of PolySign? Does it translate into Ripple private equity stock? And if so, at what ratio? Wrath of Kahneman saying, to be clear, Ripple didn't buy PolySign. So that is something very, very important to point out here, guys. PolySign did have some other companies under it, and Ripple did not buy PolySign. They bought a division, so all PolySign stock would endure. Don't know about private valuations of it, but only Standard Trust and Custody is part of Ripple now and not PolySign. Uncle Frankie saying, why don't you hear about this from the XRP army? And Wrath of Kahneman saying, I've heard a lot about this today from some invested folks. I think the fact they're not public draw less attention to it, of course. So, just another tidbit here that we should be paying attention to. But remember, custody is key for Ripple, and this is obviously why they acquired Metaco, by the way. I've been getting notices down in the comment section of the videos, people telling me that I'm pronouncing it the wrong way, but I do want to let all of you guys know I've actually heard it being pronounced two separate ways, one way from David Schwartz and another way from Brad Garlinghouse. So I'm still kind of confused as to what the pronunciation is. Dark Horse here, though, bringing this up. Ripple acquires PolySign. Sorry, I mean Standard Custody, same thing. Being a little facetious, this is great news for another custody partner for Ripple, or is it to save the failing PolySign? Joel Katz said he couldn't discuss the latest details of the deal and the auction just disappeared. But guys, listen to what Jack McDonald of Standard Custody did say about this. I think this was from a few months ago. Listen to this.
At Standard Custody, we built our business specifically to avoid any conflicts. So we are exclusively focused on providing custody and escrow services. We don't provide any trading functions or staking or lending or borrowing or market making, et cetera. And so I think as you watch this industry unfold, you will see more pure play custodians like Standard Custody be selected by the issuers. And then we will work in concert with market surveillance partners to provide that very important surveillance sharing agreement that the regulators seem to require.
So a very straight play there. No trading, no market making, no exchange of cryptocurrency, strictly custody. And I think that is for good reason. So again, another clue as to maybe why Ripple did purchase Standard Custody and not take over PolySign as a whole. Probably part of the deal. So Wrath of Kahneman with another post here. Speculative question. It's interesting that Ripple Properties, Standard Custody, and Metaco both have staking functions owned by Ripple. Would they be a conduit for AMM LPs and perhaps XRP in the future? So, we are, you got to look at all the pieces of the puzzle and put it all together. AMMs, automated market makers, providing custody for that, and also providing liquidity through their other mechanisms. So they provide secure settlement escrow, as you just heard Jack McDonald say. But another, question that we should be asking ourselves with regards to AMMs. Frito here saying AMMs is for pools of money sitting in custody, like the digital money market account. Hence, the volatility is harvested. I don't think it will work, but having large players passively gain income through basically passive trading makes the most sense. Especially with my opinion of it being from a financial product, unless I set up a pool from my mom's basement in underpants or something. Wrath of Kahneman saying, I think that's where we're headed. Not in underpants, though. A way to offer yield on crypto for customers who want it. I assume that they couldn't just do it without disclosures and permissions, and staking as a product versus securing consensus would suffice. But Mickey B. Fresh completely disagreeing with this assessment. First, AMM pools are built into the code base of the XRP ledger. It doesn't matter who created them. It will absolutely work. And why wouldn't it? The LPs have three ways to provide liquidity: single XRP permissionless, single issued asset trust line require the issuer. When you deposit XRP liquidity, AMM pools, you receive an LP token which represents your ownership in the assets the pool owns. And so he does give a broader description down here, a fairly lengthy tweet that I will link in the description if you guys are interested in that topic particularly. But I wanted to move on just for sake of time because there's a lot going on here, guys. Nevertheless, wanted to thank Dark Horse and the Wrath of Kahneman, Frito, and of course Mickey B. Fresh just for posting that. Now, remember the news Sean McBride talked about the other day that we were going to get some big news in the coming days, and there were some trolls trolling him. Now, he is a Ripple employee, But guys, I'm guessing that this was the news: Ripple acquiring Standard Custody. Ripple signed a deal to acquire Standard Custody, a wholly owned subsidiary of PolySign. We expect it to close in the coming months, subject to regulatory approvals and standard closing conditions. Standard Custody is a trust company with an NYDFS limited purpose trust license, so plus 14 money transmitter licenses, or MTLs, which we will add to our licensing portfolio. You guys remember Brad saying that they have now, 40 plus US money transmitter licenses, an MPI in the Monetary Authority of Singapore, and a VASP with regards to the Central Bank of Ireland. He's not mentioning these for no reason. This is all coming together, guys, and I think it's very, very important to note. He says this will add to their licensing portfolio and help broaden their product offerings and further strengthen our relationships with regulators. We expect this will complete what we sought to accomplish with the acquisition of Fortress and US Trust that would help enable our current and future products and services. So you remember that deal did fall through. This acquisition affords us the possibility to improve our current customer experience, plus explore new complementary products, all in service of our goal to become a one-stop shop for enterprises looking to convert, store, and move value on the blockchain around the world. Ripple provides enterprise solutions built on crypto infrastructure, which encompasses technology solutions and regulatory licenses. So a one-stop shop. Of course, you do need a lot of powerhouses behind you, big, robust companies that can help move this project along. And so this was the good news, I think, that Sean McBride was talking about. With this in mind, I do think that Ripple has the United States in mind when making this acquisition. And Anders here also bringing this up with some great points. Is Ripple acquiring Standard Custody further indication that Ripple will be focusing on the US market in the near future? Now, hear me out here. Standard Custody is headquartered in New York, and it has a New York Trust license. For those of you guys who do not know, Standard Custody can provide crypto custody services in New York with a new trust charter through the New York Department of Financial Services. Not only that, another one here from Anders: when the big banks need a great custody solution for their digital assets in the future, they will not have to travel far. Now, I know, digital assets are digital, and I mean, you don't actually have to be in close proximity physically of a company, but it is very, very telling. It is based in New York City, where all the big banks are. I mean, there's a reason why, all the developers moved to Silicon Valley. The same kind of reason, guys. So does Ripple have the US in their sights? Is Standard Custody a strategic move to unleash XRP utility in the United States? And how close are we to this? More utility on the XRP ledger will just lead to a higher price of XRP eventually, guys. Supply and demand fundamentals. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel, guys. We're almost at 100,000. I wanted to thank everybody who has subscribed recently, and of course, everybody else who's already subscribed to the channel. I'm going to be giving away 2 Ledger Nanos to a lucky subscriber, so you got to be subscribed to win. Subscribe by March the 31st. We're trying to hit 100,000 by March the 31st. And like the video, guys. It really does help with that YouTube algorithm. Put a comment down in the comment section. I always love hearing what you guys have to say, and I will see you in the next one.